Oh, sorry, everybody. Still had myself on mute. Thanks for the heads up, David. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Halloween show. I'm Matt Arts with Halloween Daily News, and this is episode 51. We are coming to you live from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, HDN headquarters right here. Thank you for joining me tonight. We got a fun show planned. Um, if you're not familiar with the show, if you are new here, this is our weekly roundup of all the top stories we're covering at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Of course, if you're here for just Michael Myers and Halloween Kills stuff, there's lots of that this week. We're gonna talk about a lot of that, but our specific live stream for that is every week on Monday nights, Michael Myers Monday live at 10:31 p.m. Eastern on Mondays, where we talk about nothing but the Halloween franchise. Here's where we talk about all things Halloween, everything that we cover on the main website. And as you can imagine, there's a lot to talk about right now, and that's part of the reason we're doing these live shows this month, to get your feedback, for the interaction aspect, of course, but also because there's just so much to go over. So we're going to get right into it. Again, welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're returning. Can't thank you enough for being here. It's been an exciting week of news and just developments here at HDN. Some stuff I'm going to tell you about, some other stuff I can't quite tell you about yet, but some exciting stuff going on, some exciting interviews going on right now here at HDN. And we're going to be talking a little more about that. Like I said, lots of Michael Myers news this week, obviously, and we're going to be hitting on that. And I'm going to be premiering actually a sneak peek clip at our next exclusive interview with a Halloween Kills cast member. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes. And then, kind of late breaking news this afternoon, we got a new trailer for the upcoming Chucky TV series, which is premiering in less than 2 weeks now, and it is set on and around Halloween. And so we tacked that on. We are going to do a live breakdown of that trailer with you guys helping me, of course, at the towards the end of this tonight's show. But before we get to any of that, like I said, we always start with the week's headlines, and there are quite a few of them. And we're going to start off with, I know some of you guys come here just for the blood and guts and gore, and that's all good. We're going to get to that. There's plenty of that this week, and metal. So that's all coming, but we do cover family-friendly Halloween events and programming and entertainment as well. And so we're going to start off with the family-friendly portion of tonight's show. As you guys know, we've been covering Under Wraps. This is the new Disney Channel original movie. It is a comedy, a mummy comedy. We hosted it. It's actually premiering on Disney Channel right now here on the East Coast, 8 p.m. And then it's going to premiere on Disney Plus next Friday, October 8th. It's a remake of the first ever Disney Channel original movie from 1997. Last night, we actually were we were the exclusive press partners of Disney's virtual premiere event. We had a great time. A lot of readers from all around the world joined us, and the cast joined in on a fun game of Halloween trick or trivia. It was pretty cool, and seeing how Disney put everything together, it was pretty fun to be a part of that. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you are parents or a younger viewer, check it out. It's aimed right at families and especially younger people aged about 12 and under. Speaking of which, I interviewed the cast, many of which are some very talented young actors, and we published those interviews. You can see here at HalloweenDailyNews.com. You can also find the video interviews here on the HDN channel. But we published this week 3 different video interviews with 4 members of the cast. That includes Malachi Barton and Christian J. Simon and Sophia Hammonds, as well as Phil Wright, who plays Harold the Mummy. And we also interviewed the director and co-writer of the film, Alex Zam. So I encourage you to check those interviews out when you get a chance. Related to the Under Wraps coming to TV tonight, as you know, we are covering the Halloween TV programming for the year, and there's quite a bit, and most of it is kicking off today, October first, as you know. We've got Sci-Fi's. They just call it Sci-Fi Halloween now. It was 31 Days of Halloween. You've got Freeform's 31 Nights of Halloween. Of course, Shudder's 61 Days of Halloween is already going on. AMC Fear Fest. We just reported on this earlier this week. Actually, before we get to that, let's take a look real quick at TCM, Turner Classic Movies. They always break out the classics for Halloween. And you can see here, they are doing a classic horror marathon Halloween weekend, Friday, October 29th through Halloween night, featuring 32 classic films. Everything from Frankenstein, Night of the Living Dead, Curse of Frankenstein, The Haunting, the original Haunting, Carnival of Souls, Chamber of Horrors, many, many others. You can see all these listings at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Also premiering, I think tonight on Disney Plus, is the new Star Wars Halloween special, Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales. And late last week, they released a final poster, which you can see here. It's pretty funny. It pays homage to The Shining. You know, here's Johnny scene in The Shining. Pretty awesome. And yes, Lego Star Wars Terrifying Tales, which takes place in Darth Vader's castle, is a Halloween themed, meaning the darker aspects of Star Wars, special from Lego Star Wars, with that same sense of humor that Lego does with all of their animated specials. And then, like I said, this week we did actually get the full schedule for AMC Fear Fest. You know, this is the big one, and right now they are beginning a Halloween franchise marathon right now as we speak. And they're going to be, from the franchise this year, they're screening Halloween, the original, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, H2O, Resurrection, and both of Rob Zombie's films. For some reason, The Curse of Michael Myers gets skipped this year. But that's far from all. Of course, there's new episodes of The Walking Dead, a new season of Eli Roth's History of Horror documentary series. In all, it's going to be over 680 hours of programming and more than 100 unique titles on AMC and AMC Plus for Fear Fest 2021. Like I said, all of these programming events that we're talking about right here are starting right now, tonight, October 1st. And Sci-Fi also firmed up their Halloween 2021 schedule. They've got a new Day of the Dead series. They got a pretty gruesome looking new remake of Slumber Party Massacre and a bunch of classic films. Also premiering this month is, like I said, the new Chucky series. Got a pretty cool sneak peek scene released last week. Kind of an homage to E.T., where Chucky does the frog dissection for young Jake. But we're looking forward to that premiere. That's premiering on both USA and Sci-Fi, but it is part of Sci-Fi's Halloween 2021 schedule. And of course, not to be outdone, that's not all. HBO Max has teamed up with Cartoon Network and Scooby and the Gang for Scoobtober, also starting today. And it's happening both on HBO Max as well as on the Cartoon Network. And you can see it's got new episodes of the newest Scooby-Doo series and a ton of cool Scooby-Doo animated movies from over the years, including last year's Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo with Elvira, and the Batman villain Scarecrow is in it. And also in the TV realm, like I said, Freeform did kick off their own 31 days of Halloween. What do they call it? 31 days now, or is it 31 nights of Halloween? I get them confused sometimes. It's 31 nights. Sci-fi used to be 31 days. Now they've just simplified it to Sci-fi Halloween. But Freeform announced these Hocus Pocus treats from Carvel, and some new Hocus Pocus themed candles from a RyanPorter.com. He does candles called Candier Candles. This is all to celebrate the kickoff of 31 Nights of Halloween right now on the Freeform Network. So, again, you can find all of the Halloween TV programming that has been announced so far, which is pretty much all of it, right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. All you got to do is just search for the TV tag or just look right there on the homepage and you'll see we got a bunch of them just posted today. Yeah, we've got all those TV schedules posted, and you can find all of that right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. All right, as you guys know, this was a massive week for Halloween Kills news. Uh, just in just a little bit, actually, Blumfest will continue, and the film is going to be screened early at Beyond Fest. Uh, but that was far from all. Let's go over now and review just some of the Halloween Kills news that broke this week. Starting with the new track from John Carpenter and, of course, his son Cody Carpenter and his godson Daniel Davies. They released a new track from the official soundtrack score called Michael's Legend. This was on Wednesday. This is the third and final pre-release track before the album is released to the public in full on October 15th, the same day the film is released, which is exactly 2 weeks away, if you can believe that. We are finally here. This track's quite different from the first two, which had a really kind of driving manic vibe. Both of them did. This new one is much more mournful and haunting. It's a slower piano dirge. But that's far from it. Later that same night, actually, technically, it was really early Thursday morning, but at midnight that same night, Ghost released their new song, Hunter's Moon, which is also from Halloween Kills. And it is a pretty badass and damn catchy tune. I gotta say, I've been listening to it on repeat pretty much since it was released. The next morning, they would go a step further and release the official music video as well, which has a lot of horror vibes to it, and even features a small cameo from you know who. You can hear the song if you haven't already. I'm sure you probably have, but if you haven't already, you can listen to it on the streaming service of your choice, or you can go to HalloweenDailyNews.com and listen to it there. We've also got that official music video loaded up on that page as well, and there you can see that badass cover art. I really dig the song myself. What do you guys think? I know David Suber loves the song. We've already talked about it. He's a huge Ghost fan. I gotta say, I love it. Art says Michael's Legend is quite nice. Yeah, it's definitely a somber, like I said, very haunting, very but still unmistakably Carpenter. Art says, I feel like I've been sitting in a room waiting 15 years for this movie to come out. I guess we know how Michael felt in Smith's Grove. And one interesting thing, because I was wondering, is this song, was this already a song that Ghost was going to release on their upcoming album? And Blumhouse was just like, "Hey, let's put it in the movie because it kind of fits," or was it written for the movie? And we actually got a little bit of clarification with that when Tobias, from the leader of Ghost, posted a video, and I'm not going to play it right here. We'll talk a little more about it during Michael Myers Monday Live this Monday. But essentially, he says that yeah, it is more or less written for the film. I mean, he kind of had it mostly written, but tweaked a few things. And when Ryan Turek from Blumhouse contacted him about contributing a new song, so in other words, it is an original song for and from Halloween Kills. Now, exactly how it's going to be used in the film, hey, it's anybody's guess. It might just be in the background in a bar scene or something. Who knows? I'm hoping for maybe like a cool 80s montage of like the Haddonfield residents loading up their weapons and getting ready to go hunt Michael down, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But it's a pretty awesome song. Let's see what you guys are saying about it. Art says it reminds him of the alt rock song that played the closing credits of H2O. I can't remember what song that was. I think I know part 6 ended with gosh, I think the band was called Brother Kane, if I remember right. David thinks it'll be the closing credits. But again, this was far from the only Halloween Kills news. Hopefully, you by now have watched our own interview with Salem Collins. She plays the new character of Christy in Halloween Kills, and this interview was it was recorded last week, and it premiered this Thursday. And this really kind of introduces you guys to Salem and to the character of Christy that we're going to be seeing in the new film. And you can see her pretty prominently in the final trailer that was released just recently, and we did a big breakdown here. And she talks about that scene that we see in the trailer and a little bit more about her experiences on set and so forth. And it was a really great interview and a lot of fun. And again, you can find that full interview on HalloweenDailyNews.com or right here on YouTube. You can just look for it on our channel. That brings us to today, October 1st. Now, Blumfest, we knew that was happening today. We knew something was going to be happening, and I figured that tickets would probably go on sale today, advanced tickets to theaters for the film. It was just speculation, but we're 2 weeks out. It makes all the sense in the world. And again, Blumfest are going to give it that final push and say, get your tickets now. And that's pretty much what happened. Tickets did go on sale nationwide. Today, you can buy your advance tickets to the October 15th or October 14th, Thursday night premiere screening of Halloween Kills right now. And as part of all of that, we got actually a new official poster released courtesy of Dolby Cinema. And you can see that poster right here. And I'll turn it over to the live chat to get your opinions on this new look at Michael Myers emerging from the flames. His bandaged hand clearly visible there. His missing fingers, of course. What do you guys think about this new poster? Byron has checked in. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Art says he got his tickets this morning. Good man. Yeah. Larry named the H2O song. Yes, it was Creed, What's This Life For? You're exactly right. And yes, and Fools Shine On by Brother Kane. Yes, that's right. Brett got the Brother Kane song and Fools Shine On. That's right. That's exactly right, guys. Thank you for clearing that up for me. Larry loves the poster. Dude has checked in, says Happy Halloween month. Happy October to you. Happy Halloween month. David says cool poster. I like the poster. I don't like it better than the official, the close up of his face. I still really like that subscriber cover from the total film, and wish that was a poster. I think one day it will be, maybe not for the theatrical release, but. And then we got what we were all really looking forward to today. A bit of new footage revealed during Blumfest, a behind the scenes featurette, 90 seconds, called Return to Haddonfield. And it really showcases the returning actors from the 1978 film, specifically, who are now back. 40 years later, technically it's 43 years later now. It was about 42 years later when they were filming. Um, Actually, it was about 41 years later when they were filming 2 years ago. And it's been 43 years now, and the film still is set in 2018. So it's 40 years later for those characters. But it, of course, has Jamie Lee Curtis in there and Danny McBride and so forth. But they've got new interviews with Nancy Stevens, Kyle Richards, and even Charles Cyphers back as former Sheriff Lee Brackett. It appears that he's now got a gig now that we know he retired as being the sheriff, or at least in the old timeline he retired shortly after the old Halloween 2. We don't know when he retired here. We just know that he's not sheriff as of 2018. But it looks like he's working security at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, is what it appears. Again, I'm not going to go through and break down everything in this featurette tonight. We're going to save that for Monday, and we'll talk a little more in depth about some of the things we see here. But yeah, we saw Brackett in that final trailer just briefly, just enough to confirm that yes, he's definitely in the film after all. And but here he's featured pretty prominently, and actually, spoiler alert, mute if you don't want to hear it. But yeah, Brackett says his famous line from the '78 film in this featurette, and it's pretty awesome and gave me chills to hear it. So, like I said, we're gonna dive into that in much more in depth this Monday, like we always do on Mondays, 10:31 p.m. for Michael Myers Monday. Um, it was new footage and a bit of behind the scenes, hearing these actors, these specific actors who are now back all these years later, talking about what that was like. And there's even a fun little moment of Jamie Lee Curtis picking Kyle Richards up, because Kyle Richards always tells the story of how Jamie Lee Curtis would carry her, back to the trailer after shooting sometimes, and just really looked after her on set back in '78 when Kyle was 8 years old, and so they kind of recreated that a little bit in the behind the scenes. But check it out. You can, if you haven't watched it already, of course, you can find that at HalloweenDailyNews.com. And it's got some good stuff in there. It's 90 seconds long. And like I said, we will dive into that a little bit more. And any other news that comes up regarding this franchise between now and then on this Monday's live stream, Michael Myers Monday live. That'll be Monday, October 4th, our first Monday of October. And there will be plenty to talk about that night. All right. Before we go into our trailer breakdown and talk Chucky and the new series, um, I've got some news for you guys and a little premiere just for you guys here tonight. Uh, Again, if you haven't checked out our interview with Salem, I urge you to do that. You can find it on the website or here. It's just a fun interview. She was really cool and fun to talk to, and had some great stories from the set of Halloween Kills. Well, this week I interviewed another cast member from Halloween Kills who is actually returning to reprise their role that they first played in Halloween 2018. Any guesses who that might be? We're on delay, so I'll have to sit here and fill time while you guys make a guess. Oh, I'll just tell you who it is. Um, Our next exclusive interview is with the very talented and very cool Carmela McNeil. She plays the character Vanessa. You first glimpsed the character in 2018, in Halloween 2018, where she was billed as the sexy nurse in the closing credits. And her husband in the film, Marcus, he now has the name Marcus. He was billed as Hunky Doctor in the 2018 film, and he's played by Michael Smallwood. So just yesterday, I had a wonderful conversation with Carmela. It was just a great time getting to know her and learning more about her story and where she's coming from and her experiences, both just in acting and in her career, and then in getting the 2018 role and her time on set at that time, and then the surprise news that you can imagine, um, of learning that David Gordon Green and everybody wanted to bring her back to reprise the role quite a bit more substantially in the new film in Halloween Kills. So it's a great interview. I'm really proud of it, and Carmela was just really awesome to talk to. I think you're all just gonna enjoy our conversation and enjoy some of the stories she has to tell and some of the stuff she has to say about the set and just about where she's coming from going into this. And she was just really real and cool and just honest with us, and I really appreciate that, and I think again, I just think it's going to enrich all of our experience watching her performance in this film, having this little bit of background on her, and on her creation of this character, this of Vanessa. That So speaking of Vanessa, that brings us to tonight's premiere clip. Now, this is just a very, very small teaser of what's to come in the interview. It's just a few minutes of our conversation, but this is a bit about Carmela explaining just a little bit about the character of Vanessa, because again, we knew very little about that character following her appearance in the 2018 film. I mean, you know, she's wearing a sexy nurse costume, and her husband is wearing a hunky doctor costume, and it looks like they're late for a Halloween party. And that's about it. But if you remember in that film, there is a moment, and we talk about this in the interview, not in this clip, but we do talk about this in the interview. There's a moment where she stops and kind of sees Michael standing there. And we can't really see him. He's like just off camera, but we assume he's eyeing her, and she kind of, it's almost like they make eye contact for a minute. And we talked about shooting that scene and that specific moment in that scene in our interview. The full interview is going to drop next week. We're going to premiere this clip right now, though. And this is the first time anybody has seen this. And again, this is just a few minutes of Carmela talking to us. I asked her to tell us whatever she can, knowing that, spoiler free. We don't want spoilers here. We'll have after we've all seen the film, then we'll talk to some of these people again and do follow-ups. But I just asked her to tell us whatever she could about the character of Vanessa. And here's what she said.
Very.
Sorry about that. We're experiencing technical difficulties at the moment. Please be patient. What can you tell us that you can tell us?
Vanessa is bad. Like she is a bad chick. Like she's very loyal. Um, in my mind, she's very loyal.
Mm-hmm.
She she is a badass to me. Um, but she's a normal person who's in a situation where this doesn't happen all the time. So even the toughest badass still when confronted with Michael Myers is like, it's like a mouse to an elephant. So it's like, so
Yeah.
but yeah, she's a pretty cool chick. She's a little sassy.
Mm-hmm.
She got a little sassy mouth on her. But she's a cool chick. She's cool. I can't wait for you all to meet her. Like I can't wait for you all to see Vanessa. And she's a bad chick because she runs around those hills the whole time too. Let's just put that out there, okay? That was
Yeah.
the hills actually. She was running around in that whole little outfit with her behind out. That's tough right there. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
that's a tough chick right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. So yeah, she loves Marcus even though he gets on her nerves. Yeah. So yeah, I would say they have a great dynamic those two. So yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
And that must have been, part of what made it special too. Like you mentioned, reuniting with Michael from the first film, and even in that brief scene, you guys do have some kind of funny banter about, oh, I need my stethoscope,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, just leave it. No, I got to get, it's kind of, just like a husband wife, on their way
Mm-hmm.
late to a costume party,
Mm-hmm.
would be, and like those of us that we've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe you can talk just a little bit about the chemistry between you guys. Obviously, they saw that in the first film
Mm-hmm.
clearly, to bring you
Mm-hmm.
back. But you got to explore that a lot more in Kills.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot more. So you'll see a whole bunch of Vanessa fussing probably. I don't know what they used and what they didn't use,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that yeah, they have the regular husband and wife. Like if you've been together for a long time, you're going to go at it, like and
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a winner, and usually it's the woman because you guys are smart enough to let us win. So
Yep.
I think Marcus is kind of like that too. He's like your average guy that's married and wants to stay married. So yeah, so that's how that happens. So death do us part.
That sounds awesome. All right. Like I said, the full interview is coming in just a few days. I know. You just gotta wait just a few days. We will have another preview, another sneak peek clip, a different clip that we're gonna premiere Monday night during the normal Michael Myers Monday live stream that we do every week here at 10:31 p.m. on Mondays. So tune into that, and then you can look for the full interview coming very soon after that next week. And lots more from Halloween Kills. Again, I mean, we are in the thick of it now, and we've got lots more exciting Halloween Kills coverage, interviews, and interviews outside of Halloween Kills as well. A lot of great things. I did a few other interviews this week as well. A few names I can't quite mention yet, not related to Halloween Kills, but very exciting for us here at HDN, and I think for you guys when you see who I'm talking about. But again, I mean, I really enjoyed talking to Carmela and learning more about her, and I look forward to sharing that with you guys. I think you guys will appreciate it as much as I did, and we're all gonna look forward to seeing more of Vanessa and Marcus and how they do against Michael. I mean, you know, it's obviously after that brief stare down on the sidewalk there earlier in the night, somewhere later on in the night, they're going to come back in contact with the boogeyman, and can't wait to see it. All right, so you can look for that. Again, another preview clip coming this Monday during Michael Myers Monday Live. Logan has checked in. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. One of our friends we connected with at Haunted Screams Expo. Thank you for being here, Logan. Ken says she's beautiful. Couldn't see her much in 2018. Yeah, totally. And you couldn't much in. I mean, it is there. If you go back and, I mean, she's clearly there. But yeah, as you heard, we're gonna see a lot more of her in this film. She's in it. Well, you heard what she said, and there'll be more where that came from here in just a few days, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. You're gonna like it. Yep, Art says that'll be cool. Look forward to that. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, she was great. She is great. And after hearing everything she told me, yeah, I think she's gonna be great in this new film. And it's just between what Salem has told me and what everybody's been talking about. I mean, of course they're excited, and they want us to be excited as fans. They want the audience to be excited, of course. But when I hear these stories on a personal level, person to person, and we're all human, and that they're getting touched by some of these things going on set, and just how they're treated on set, things that they're really going to take with them, in ways that it's not just a for hire gig, not just another job. It sounds like these are like some life changing experiences, which is pretty awesome to hear as a fan myself. That this film is that kind of a thing, that it can do that for people. Yeah. Logan says we have a lot of horror films to look forward to. Halloween Kills, Chucky TV series, Terrifier 2. That's right. Yep, Terrifier 2 will be next year, but yeah, Chucky, that's what we're going to talk about now. Now we're going to move into our trailer breakdown of the new trailer for the Chucky series. This is brand new. It just came out a little bit ago, and the series takes place on and around Halloween. And this is further confirmed, not just in the trailer, but Don Mancini actually did his own breakdown of the trailer, and you probably want to check that one out because he knows what he's talking about a little bit more than I do. But but I checked it out for you, and the key point is that yes, it takes place on and around Halloween, and at least one episode takes place entirely on October 31st itself. So we got that to look forward to. The series premieres October 12th, which is Tuesday after next. That's Halloween Kills week. It's going to be a huge week. Speaking of big weeks, big horror releases, I would not be surprised at all if that's when we get our first look at the new Scream movie. I mean, come on. We've got Chucky. We've got Michael Myers. Don't tell me that Paramount doesn't want to drop that new Scream teaser right there in audiences' faces right before they watch Halloween Kills. And it's just going to add to the whole event of the movie itself, and to that whole week with the Chucky series premiering as well, and it not just being Chucky. I've said this before. I was excited for the series when they announced it because it was Don Mancini who created the franchise and directed a lot of the later films, all the most recent films, not counting that remake we won't mention. But not just him, but they've got Brad Dourif back. They've got Alex Vincent back as Andy. They've got Christina Elise back from Child's Play 2 as Kyle. And they've got Jennifer Tilly back as Tiffany. And they've even got Brad Dourif's daughter, Fiona Dourif, back as the character Nika that she played in the two most recent films that Mancini directed, uh, Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky. Now, if you remember, if you're a fan and you remember how these films end, uh, the last film, Cult, ended with Chucky now possessing not the doll, but Nika's body, which is a pretty cool thing because here you have Brad Dourif's real life daughter playing, in essence, the character of Charles Lee Ray, that Brad has been voicing all these years. And you only got to see just a tiny bit of that at the end of that movie. Well, it looks like the series is going to begin with that still in place. That's still the way things are. And Mancini said in his breakdown that yes, it picks up about 2 or 3 weeks after the events of Cult of Chucky, which was filmed in 2016. It was released in 2017. And he said, so technically it takes place a few years ago, but even though they don't really lean into that too heavily, I guess, make a big deal about what year it is. But it would be just a few weeks after the events of that film. And it's going to pick up. And like I said, all of the legacy characters are back, played by their original actors, which is the Halloween thing. I mean, that's what they're doing now with Halloween Kills. And I love that that's what Chucky is doing with the Child's Play franchise. So it premieres, like I said, in less than 2 weeks on USA and Sci-Fi, October 12th. Let's take a look at this trailer right now, and yeah, we'll just kind of go through it a little bit. Now, I admit I'm not as big a uh, I, I don't know as much about the Child's Play franchise as I do about some franchises, like maybe the Halloween franchise, for example. But that's not where we meant to go. I'm just messing up all over the place tonight, guys. That's all right. Let's go over here. There's Chucky. All right, so we're just going to take a look at this trailer, and especially at some of the cooler aspects as it pertains to the Halloween setting, and Mancini also said that the look of Chucky especially is meant to be right out of Child's Play 2, which he said is the most popular among fans that he's talked to. Let's see. And put like some light volume on maybe. Yeah, you're gonna get all the so many of these classic lines and just imagery. Excuse me. I love how the trailers have teasers for the trailers before the trailers themselves, like trailers for trailers in trailers. Like we don't know what we're about to watch, but they got to give us the 5-second version anyway. All right, let's get into this. Here we go. And again, I turn to you guys to help me on this breakdown, especially if you are more well versed on the Child's Play franchise than I am, which you very well may be. But I'll give you some of my thoughts on this. Yeah, let's see if I can get that line off of there, maybe. So that's not quite as annoying like that. There we go. All right, so it starts right off with our main character, Jake, here. And again, going directly from what Mancini has said, not just today, but in previous interviews, this character is very much based on Don Mancini himself as he was at 12 years old, and he is our main character. And the first line of dialogue you hear is the character of Jake saying it's October 31st, and then it pans down and we see it's curly fall. He's at a yard sale, and immediately the first image, there's the Chucky doll right over his shoulder immediately. And at the same time, we're hearing that it's October 31st. And I don't know if that's supposed to be like Jason or a skull or something on his necklace, but that's kind of cool. Now, this is when he continues. He says Hackensack is a haven for the bizarre and the straight up criminally insane. And Mancini noted in his own breakdown that setting this show, this series in Hackensack, again, is just a big Easter egg for fans because that is where the original character of Charles Lee Ray is from. Yeah, this is young Zachary Arthur. He plays Jake in the film. And gotta love the Halloween atmosphere right here to kick everything off. Kids trick or treating, decorations, lots of fall leaves. Can't complain with anything I see there. And he's talking about, again, the town of Hackensack. One of the quotes is he says, historically speaking, the violence in our fair city has always spiked on Halloween. And again, just quoting, semi quoting, paraphrasing Mancini here. Mancini says that he set the series around Halloween mainly because they had never done it. They had never done a Chucky story and incorporated the holiday. Meanwhile, in the real world, in our very real world, Chucky has in fact become a very popular Halloween costume himself. This is a pretty cool moment that we saw in the first trailer, and it looks like Jake is somewhat of a collector. The first trailer had a joke of retro versus vintage. Here we have two of our other characters that we're going to meet. Mancini says these are actually the bully characters that are the biggest problem in Jake's life. And we can pretty safely assume that Chucky's going to help him in his own distinct way. You know what I mean? And there we go. Nice clear look at the Chucky doll. I mean, yeah, that is like the best look. That is the classic look. I mean, you guys tell me, but I think that looks great. I just noticed all the doll heads strategically placed, just the doll heads right behind him. Wonder if he beheaded them. And this is a pretty cool scene. Jake gets a call, and the voice on the other end says, "Yeah, I'm calling about the doll." And he says, "Have you checked the batteries yet?" And it's like this big revelation moment that is a callback to the original film, obviously. And the voice on the other end, we know, is going to be Andy Barclay, played once again by Alex Vincent. He says, "Be very careful with that doll." Again, just a classic, iconic Chucky image. We've seen variations of this in almost all of the movies, but it's like one of those shots of the shape, just off in the distance, cloaked in darkness, or Freddy with his glove up and kind of menacingly. It's just one of those shots that every one of these Chucky movies, or in this case, the series, they've got to have that. You got to have that doll hand reaching out and pulling out a butcher knife that's ridiculously bigger than the doll itself. Again, love that this is from Don Mancini. That's the main reason I haven't watched that remake yet, is because he wasn't involved. And I listened to his interview with Mick Garris, and he says that he was never even approached by the producers or anybody involved in that remake. And I mean, I'll watch it eventually. I just didn't want to give Minnie my money and support it. But this I will support wholeheartedly. I love this. I love the legacy actors and characters, and that it's a in canon continuation of what started back in 1988. And the original creator is still right here, creating away, and he actually directs the pilot, the first episode. Yeah, there's little Andy in a headline that he's saying Chucky did it. Jake's remarking that it's all become an urban legend now. That Chucky has become an urban legend. Similar to Candyman. Similar to kind of what Allison's friends might have thought about Michael Myers at the beginning of the 2018 film. And of course, they'll do exactly what anybody would do and look it up, Google it. There's the urban legend, Charles Lee Ray and Chucky. Yeah, 6-year-old boy says Chucky did it. A lot of headlines referencing some of Chucky's handiwork over the years. Halloween Vibes has checked in. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Happy October 1st to you. Now, this is pretty gory. Mancini also talks about the fact that he was excited to be doing this show for USA and Sci-Fi because they are owned by NBC Universal, and that's who he worked on Hannibal with, the Hannibal TV series, which, if you remember, that's one of the goriest shows of all time. If you watch that show, some of that stuff I could not believe they were showing on network TV, not even basic cable, but network. And he said that was part of the reason why he was excited to do this series for NBC Universal, because he felt like they would not skimp on the blood and gore, even though it's on basic cable. And I think those bloody shoe prints look familiar. It's funny, even Chucky's shoe prints are pretty instantly identifiable after all these years. Good old classic Good Guys box. Jake doing his research and learning the history of the doll that has found its way into his possession. And there we go, right there. It's the classic line, "Hi, I'm Chucky, wanna play?" Again, it's like hearing those familiar notes of the Halloween theme. It's when Brad Dourif says those lines, you know it's on. And here he is attacking, and that's a great shot of Chucky attacking this girl, doing his thing, back in action again. Vibe said, "Did you say Hannibal?" Yes. Don Mancini worked on Hannibal, the series. Yes. And here's some cool flashback sequence here of it appears to be a young Charles Lee Ray. And we got a little taste of this in the first trailer for this series, noting that it's going to have a bit of a flashback, and we're going to learn a little bit more about who he was before he became the man who became possessed, or possessed a doll, whose spirit possessed a doll, was transferred into a doll. I'll get it right eventually. That's a really cool image right there. Just the simple double exposure, but it looks creepy as hell right there. I like that shot. And we're over halfway through with this trailer, but the other half of the primary cast really has yet to show up, but they're about to. And there's Alex Vincent once again playing Andy. I mean, I love that he and Christina Lease are now kind of the hunters, looking to put a stop to Chucky because they're the only ones that know what he is. But again, much like my excitement of seeing so many of the legacy actors and characters back in Halloween Kills, I feel a similar way that they're not recasting and they're not, they're bringing these original actors back to play the roles that they know best, and rightfully so. That was Christina Lease. Another iconic Chucky moment there. Vibes is talking about the Chucky stuff that Trick or Treat Studios has. Yeah, we've got two more actually of the Chucky Halloween wall decor sets. They're just $10 for 4 pieces in the set. We've got them at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop as we're talking about Chucky. They're pretty awesome. And that's about the only wall decor we have in stock at the moment. There's another great shot of the doll. Mancini has said that the look for this series goes directly back to Child's Play 2. And his reasoning is simple. That's what the majority of fans he's talked to says is their favorite, and when he looked the best. Pretty awesome Pulp Fiction reference right here. That's Alex and Christine again playing Andy and Kyle. Remember, Kyle was his babysitter in the second Child's Play movie. Both of them fan favorites for the franchise, obviously. We were lucky enough to meet both of them at Mad Monster Party in Charlotte a few years back. Awesome people. Now here we go, bloody butcher knife, but that's not Chucky's doll hand holding it. Let's see who it is. And that's Nika right there, played by Fiona Dourif. If you haven't seen Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky, then you wouldn't know who her character is, but I highly recommend you check out those films. I actually really like those films. Those are two of my favorites in the franchise, honestly. The most recent two, Curse and Cult. And there's some pretty wild revelations in there, but like I said, it ends with essentially Nika, as she is here, is possessed by Charles Lee Ray. So that's Chucky in the body of a character being played by Brad Dourif's real life daughter. Pretty wild. And of course, Jennifer Tilly is back as Tiffany, a vital part of the franchise ever since Bride of Chucky. And yeah, there's again Fiona Dourif embodying the Chucky character that her dad helped create and has given voice to all these years. I just think that's pretty wild. And it looks like she's doing a pretty good job in this scene. More Halloween atmosphere. That looked like a Halloween party. And yes, here's Jake stating that Charles Lee Ray was born in Hackensack, so he's come home. So this is again to paraphrase the Halloween franchise. This is the night or the Halloween Chucky came home. Let's say this is the Halloween Chucky came home. Yeah, he's clearly going to be wreaking havoc everywhere he goes. And that's an interesting moment when Tiffany says, "We have big plans for this place." So we don't know why Chucky wants to come back to his hometown. It's Charles Lee Ray's hometown of Hackensack, but he's clearly got a plan. That's another reference to the earlier film. Great shot of Nika there. Looking crazy as hell. Chris says, "Sup, let's get spooky." What's up, Chris? Welcome to the Halloween show. There's a quick shot of Devon Sawa, who has joined the cast here on the series. And they call it a coming of rage story. Love that. And there again, that's Tiffany saying welcome home. Looks like about to pull the doll out of a car trunk, possibly. All kinds of mayhem. An explosion as the kids are happily partying. Their headphones on. And another great shot of the Chucky doll as it's going to appear in this series. As the trailer comes to a close. He says, "I'm too old for this shit." A clear Lethal Weapon Easter egg there. And there we go. Just about the final image before we get that maniacal laugh that Brad Dourif does so well and is so instantly recognizable as Chucky's. So there we go, guys. That is the new trailer for Chucky, the series, premiering October 12th on both the USA and Sci-Fi networks. So, what do you guys think of that Chucky trailer? Are you guys going to be watching this series? Like I said, I know I'm going to be watching it. I think we might have to do some post-episode discussions even. I'm stoked for it. Like I said, I think the trailers, both of them look really good. That first scene, it's got a really good Child's Play tone. Obviously, it's it's a bit of humor, but not the over the top humor of some of the Child's Play films that I thought they got too comedic. Chucky, he's a smartass. He's gonna say ridiculous stuff and inappropriate stuff, and some of it's gonna make you laugh, but it shouldn't be a comedy. It can be a horror with some laugh out loud moments, and but it looks like that's what it's gonna be. And Mancini promised in his breakdown that it's just loaded with Easter eggs because he loves that as a fan, and so he wanted to give that back. And I love stuff like that too. I love the when they acknowledge the history of a franchise when it does have this kind of history. This, 88. So yeah, over 30 years of history right there. What do you guys think? Let's see. Let's get a couple comments on here before we get out of here. Ken says the trailer is fresh. Halloween Vibes is looking forward to it. A Wolf just got here. Welcome, Wolf. Let's see. Larry says Jennifer Tilly is a damn good poker player. Seen her on Poker After Dark. Yeah, I think I heard somewhere that she's big into poker. So she's a really good player, huh? Nice. What else? Any other thoughts on the new trailer? I think it looks good. It's got some gore. I think it's going to have a lot more gore in the actual series. Again, I mean, the icing on top, I'd be excited to watch it. Just the fact that it's Mancini and all of the original performers reprising their roles, and it's a continuation in canon of the original series. So that to me already sold me on it. And then to learn that, oh yeah, and we're going to set it on Halloween. Yeah. You guys know me. That's all I need to hear. So, we got everything we love about Chucky. I mean, literally everything that we love about Chucky is in this series. He looks like the Chucky we know and love. He's being directed and written by the creator that we know and love. And we've got the actors, both helping him and fighting him that we all know and love and remember from those other classic films in the franchise. And it's really all the generations of the franchise, with Alex and Christine from the very first two, and then you've got Jennifer Tilly from kind of the middle section, and then you've got Fiona, who was in the most recent two. So you've really kind of got three eras of the Chucky series all rolled up into this one series, and it makes sense because now they've got not just 90 minutes to tell the story, they've got 8 episodes. So essentially, almost 8 hours to tell the story. So I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be cool. I think them going back to Charles Lee Ray's hometown, I think that's kind of a good move. Some of my Michael Myers Monday friends will know we've just kind of imagined what a Halloween series could ever look like, and I've said, well, the best way to do it was make it young Loomis and make him a doctor at Smith's Grove, and just have all the weird inmates that come in and out of there, and Michael's barely in it; he's in the background. I almost feel like this is a similar thing, even though Chucky will not be in the background clearly, but it's kind of a similar thing. Let's go back to that town that we all know he's from, and it could, you could expand on the characters that made Charles Lee Ray the criminal and the killer that he would ultimately become as an adult. And you can explore that. You can explore his history, which it looks like the show's going to do a little bit with some flashbacks. So all that makes me super excited to see the Chucky series. But again, you guys tell me what you think. Ken says, looks like Tiff is back at her trailer from The Bride of Chucky. Interesting note. Again, I'm not as super familiar with the franchise as I am some other ones where I know every single sequel and scene, but that's a good call if you picked up on that. I would not be surprised at all if she is back in that same trailer from Bride. Again, Mancini said that it's going to be loaded with Easter eggs that the fans are gonna love. So I imagine we could do episode recaps almost every week, and you guys could probably help find more stuff that I'm even gonna pick up on. But I'm definitely gonna be paying attention and trying to pick up on as many of the references as I can. I just some might go over my head, but that I think that you're probably right. That probably was meant to be the same trailer. Vibe said Chucky creeped me out when I first watched Child's Play at my cousin's house. Yeah, he's pretty creepy. The killer doll. I mean, he's the king of the killer dolls. You can't mess with Chucky. Indie Phantom says, just found out about the trailer from your stream, so I need to watch it right after this. I'm pumped. Very cool. Well, thank you for being here and watching, and glad we could give you some good news and share something with you. That's always exciting. But yeah, check it out. If we've got it right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. I was going to put a link down in the description, but it was kind of late breaking, and I just realized I didn't do that before we started, or I would have the link down there. But you can watch it as soon as we're done here at HalloweenDailyNews.com. It's a really good trailer. The first one was a great trailer. I really liked it. But I love that it is just all built around the Halloween season. Again, I mean, you regular viewers know. I mean, that's, Halloween Daily. That's our sweet spot. Needless to say, I don't think I need to say that to you guys. I think you get it. But yeah, so I'm stoked. Another horror icon, one of our favorites, and it's just gonna make that week that much more epic. I mean, on Tuesday we get the Chucky series. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm betting that Thursday we're gonna get that Scream trailer teaser, uh, and then Thursday night Kills starts premiering everywhere. Man, you guys, 'tis the season, right? Am I right, guys? I mean, this is our time. It is October, and the Halloween programming, like I said, you turn on TV, you're going to see all the channels tonight. They've all kicked off their Halloween programming events. Their marketing, the commercials. I'm seeing the M&M's Halloween commercials and the Reese's Halloween commercials. They've all kickstarted that as of right now. It's October 1st. Like I said, we've got movie premieres. We've got stuff streaming right now. You can find it all at HalloweenDailyNews.com. And then if you're watching something with commercials, paid ads, then of course every 30 minutes it's like there's another ad with Halloween Kills. And that's pretty surreal. After 2 years of waiting for this film and a year after it was pushed back and we thought we were going to get it, here it's finally here, and it doesn't even hardly seem real. It's like, wow, I can't, it's taken forever, but at the same time, it seems like, wow, that got here kind of fast. So anyway, happy October, everybody. That's what I'm getting at. Happy October. It is officially our month, our time. And as always, I can't thank you guys enough for joining me. This has been a blast. Thank you for helping break down the Chucky trailer. Like I said, we might have to start doing Chucky nights after the show premieres, especially with it premiering this month and with all the Halloweenness of it all. David Super says, got my kills. Evil Dies Tonight shirt from Fright Rags. Yes, sir. Yep, my Fright Rags tees arrived today as well. Yep. I've seen on social media quite a lot of people have been getting their Fright Rags pre-orders this week. But yes, David, mine arrived today, as a matter of fact. Very excited for that. Now it's just a matter of deciding which one am I going to wear on premiere night to see the film for the first time, right? Indy says, watch so much new and old horror this week. It is amazing. Wolf says it's October. Yes. Ken says it's going to be a hoot. It'll be a hoot. Sound like Tom Atkins in Halloween 3. Yes, it is definitely October. And that is good, Indy, that you're watching new and old horror films. I assume on some of the Halloween programming going on that we're talking about. Again, you can find all those links and listings and trailers and everything I've talked about tonight anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com. If you're watching this on a replay and you've got thoughts on anything we've talked about, including the Chucky trailer or the clip from our interview or any of the Halloween Kills news, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment down below, and during next week's show, we'll try to get to those comments. Also, if you enjoyed what you saw here tonight, and you're not doing anything this Monday night, then we're gonna do it again, 10:31 p.m. Michael Myers Monday live, and it's gonna start getting a little bit crazy because we're down to I think 2 more Mondays before Michael Myers is back. Yeah, it's gonna be a big one. We're going to have another premiere clip from our interview with Carmela McNeil. And then, like I said, you'll be able to see that full interview a day or two after that next week. Meanwhile, if you haven't watched our interview with Salem Collins or any of our Under Wraps cast and director interviews, you can check them out this weekend while you're kicking back and enjoy those, and it'll give you some, get you hyped up a little bit more for those releases as well. All right, everybody, we are going to get out of here now, and again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Got to say that. I think most of you probably have they're watching, they're commenting anyway. But definitely, if you're watching this and you're new here, subscribe to the channel. We do this stuff a lot, and this month we're doing more than ever right here on the channel. Like I said, I can't talk about everything, but if you're liking the interviews you're seeing, there's a lot more of that stuff coming your way. And some other surprises that I'm not really ready to reveal quite yet, but you're going to like it. It's going to be a fun month. It's going to be a fun couple of weeks. So just hang on tight. And be sure to subscribe and like the video if you did like it. If you didn't like it, just don't do anything. How about that? But if you did like it, hit that thumbs up. That'd be awesome. And again, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. For all of you that were here and participating tonight, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. I've had a blast. I hope you enjoyed it. And it's our time, guys. Happy Halloween, right? Right, everybody? Happy Halloween. All right, guys. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching.